Guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. This is my latest installment of my tips for those of you who are attending the American Health Information Management Association National Conference. This year it will be held in Salt Lake City 2024, and the kickoff is October 27th, which is a Sunday, and I will be speaking this year. I am very excited. I'm one of the breakout session speakers, and so with that in mind, I said, well, let me make a special series about this to get the people ready. So if you have questions about attending, if you've never attended before, or this is something very new for you and you have any questions, I hope that you'll continue to follow this series. I will probably put this on a playlist so that way in case you miss any episodes, you can catch up. But today I'm talking about prime tips for attending conference. Now, prime tips, these are tips before you go to conference, okay? Now, one of the things that you should have and that you should bring with you, and there's still plenty of time right now that you can order them, is business cards. Now, business cards is just going to be your name and your contact information. Some people put a phone number, some people put just their email and their name with their credentials, and that's totally fine. Most people communicate with email anyway, especially with businesses and things. But that's something that you can put on your business card, something very simple. There's lots of places where you can order business cards. You can even print them from the template if you have, I think Microsoft Office has a template in their little suite of things that you can just print them out. And so that's always an option as well. Business cards are relatively very cheap, and you can get more expensive, elaborate ones too. But just something to be cost effective and something to have that's handy for you. Now, the purpose of these business cards is, of course, to give them out. Sometimes when you are in the exhibit hall, you'll be surrounded by vendors, and these vendors have lots of goodies, and sometimes they will have you like enter, if you want to enter to win like a prize. They give away a lot of purses, ladies. I'm just telling y'all. They give away a lot of things, not just purses, but like lots of really cool stuff. And so sometimes people have to fill out a card, and but sometimes if you have your business card, you can just toss it in the little bucket, and that's good enough. So something to save you a few minutes of having to fill that out, and that way you can have it. It's convenient. And also when you're making connections and you want to continue the conversation with somebody, maybe you're talking to a vendor, maybe you meet somebody else who's also an attendee, and maybe they just have some connection with another organization, or maybe you're interested in what they're doing and you want to give them your business card. Again, another great opportunity. You don't have to order a lot, or you don't have to bring a lot. You can bring 50. 50 is perfectly fine. Some people will give all of those out, but 50 is a good amount, okay? 50 to 100 business cards. That way you have plenty of business cards with you, and you can just make connections. It is about making connections, because you never know who you might need as far as like to connect with in the future, because not everybody is because they can do something for you. Sometimes it is because you can share ideas. Now, I have met fantastic people that I still keep up with to this day. Since I very first started going to conference in 2014, I have kept up with a very small group of people, and I am very thankful to have them in my life. And we have shared lots of ideas, lots of coding discussions have happened as well. So that's always a really good thing. When you meet those people who are really serious about the field and who like to discuss medical coding and the health information industry, that is a good thing to have, because these are people who take it very seriously. If you're going to this conference, you are taking this industry very seriously. I'm just saying, the investment that it does take. So business cards are a great thing to bring with you. Okay, so bring them with you. And again, it's just nice to give somebody your business card too. Okay, you can't be shy at these conferences. You have to kind of think outside of the box. And while you may be a naturally shy person, everybody there is a health information professional or related to health information, the health information profession in some way. And so everybody is there, and sometimes they're there with a group of people and sometimes they're not. And even if they are there with a group of people, they may not really be friendly with the other people as far as like, oh, we're buddies. It may just be their coworkers. So just because they're in a group doesn't mean that you can't join. If you happen to be there and you're just talking and people start, conversing with each other, that's just another way to kind of reach out and make those very positive connections. I'm just saying. So get yourself some business cards. The other thing that I will say in the weeks before you get to conference, is to increase your daily steps. Now, I will give a disclaimer now. Of course, I am not, a health professional or anything like that. This is just my advice, okay? So for entertainment purposes only, I will tell you that it's a good idea to go ahead and increase your steps, your daily steps. So that way, when you get to conference, you will not be so sore from all the walking. You will be doing a tremendous amount of walking. There is a lot of walking. These conference centers are huge. The floors are made of concrete, and of course, sometimes there's carpet and padding and things like that, but a lot of times you are walking on concrete. There's a difference walking on concrete versus walking on like padded carpet. Okay, if you've ever worked in retail, if you've ever worked in bartending, you understand what I'm talking about. There's a huge difference between walking on concrete and walking on carpet. Now, with that said, increasing your steps daily will help you to kind of like get conditioned, your body get conditioned, so that when you do go to conference, you're not going to be so sore. You will be, of course, tired because there's a lot going on and you have to think, and you're, out there making these connections and you're running around and doing all these things, but you don't want to be worn out. Okay. You want your body to be like, okay, we're used to the increased walking. Now, it doesn't have to be dramatic. Just increase your steps, a few more steps every single day. So that way, when you are going to conference, it's not going to be so difficult for you. Okay, you won't be so tired and so so sore. Make sure, again, I will keep saying this. Bring good walking shoes. Ladies, bring your flats. Don't even worry about trying to look cute with high heels. All right. If you're going to one of the parties, sure, you can wear heels if you want to. But for the most part, during the day when you're at conference and you're walking around that big old exhibit hall and you're walking around that big old conference center, you want to make sure that you're in flats, because it doesn't make sense. And I see these women do this all the time. And then you see them like not even during the full day, they're already crying because their feet hurt so bad because they insisted on wearing heels, and they didn't really think about it because they can do that in like their normal office setting because maybe the walk isn't that far. But when you're talking about a conference center, guys, I'm telling you, that conference center is huge. And I haven't been to this one, but I have been to some big conference centers. So I'm just saying, protect your feet. Make sure that you wear flat shoes that are comfortable so you are not suffering at the end of the day. Okay, this is my other tip. My last tip for the evening is to make sure that you are staying hydrated. And that is increasing all the way up until conference, obviously. The elevation in Salt Lake City is 4,300 feet above sea level. So if you are used to a lower elevation, it's going to be a little bit of a change for you when you go up there. Some people don't feel well, when they first get there. A good thing to combat that is to stay hydrated. All right. So a lot of people are running around dehydrated and they don't even know because they're just caffeine all day. And you got to make sure that you increase your water, whatever you can get in. Again, I'm not a health professional, but I will say that when it comes to taking care of your health and taking care of your body, staying hydrated is one of the biggest things. So look and see how much you need to have in water every day in fluid, because you can do that calculation with your weight and things like that, and it'll tell you how many ounces of water you need. You can just Google that. And so that way you can increase your water intake, because of course getting there, you don't want to be dehydrated and then not feeling well if you're not used to the higher elevation. Now, this is probably not going to be a huge problem for a lot of people, but for those that are sensitive, like their body, because they're from a lower elevation and that's what they're used to, that's what their body is used to. This is something to be aware of, okay? Again, not trying to scare people. I know I probably scared somebody and they stopped listening, but don't be scared, okay? Again, I'm trying to prepare you guys. So telling you to increase your steps so that you're not so sore when you're walking around when you get there to conference, it's a good thing. Making sure that you stay hydrated, that's also another good thing. And then, of course, bringing your business cards, okay? And thinking about some of the things that you want to say. If you're trying to make a conversation and things like that, talk about what you do. You know, you don't want to just say, well, I work in outpatient. What do you do in outpatient? Outpatient is huge. Do you work in professional fee? Do you work in the clinic setting? You know, do you work remotely? What do you do? All right. And I'm going to bring this up because I know somebody's going to ask me, should they bring a copy of their resume? Conferences are really not for applying for jobs. And a lot of the stuff, you know, you can apply online and things like that, and they'll tell you that too. If you want to, you can bring a copy of your resume just in case maybe you talk to somebody and you want to give them your resume. Sure, you know, you can bring a couple copies if you want to, but it's really not necessary. Your business card should be sufficient enough. And I personally don't like scanning those, what are they called? The codes. When you scan on your phone, the little code things, little barcode things, whatever they're called. QR code. I was going to say UR code. The QR code. I don't like scanning those. I never have, and I don't do that with my phone. I will give you my business card, you know. But some people are okay with scanning, you know, their phones. I'm not. Okay, so it's entirely up to you, but that's just one of the things that your business cards are also good for, that you don't have to do all of that with your phone. I'm just saying. So those are my tips for today, and I'm very excited. The more closer we get to conference, the more excited I am getting. So I hope you all are too. And so with that said, wrap this one up. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If this video helped you, please like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.